If you're selling a home in Georgia, your closing packet may include a form called a 1099-S. In the next few minutes, I'll explain what it is, why you might need it, and how to check the right boxes on the two short forms. Simple, clear, and done. A 1099-S is a tax form that tells the IRS that you sold real estate. Think of it like a receipt the IRS gets. It does not automatically mean you owe taxes. It's just information about your sale. If you qualify for the home sale exclusion, more on that in a second, and you certify that at closing, then the closing attorney usually does not have to issue a 1099-S to you. You'll likely see two forms: the IRS 1099-S exemption certification. This is the one with checkboxes about your main home. Georgia's seller's certificate of residence, exemption or gain. This one is about Georgia's state tax withholding rules. We'll go through each, step by step. The goal of this form is simple. If you truthfully meet the conditions, the attorney does not need to issue a 1099-S to you. You'll see a series of statements. You'll mark true, false, or sometimes NA. Here's what each means in plain English. First, you owned and lived in the home as your main home for at least 2 years during the last 5 years. If that's true, check true. If you have lived there more than 2 years but less than 5 years, you still check true. If you lived there less than 24 months, check false. Second, if you have not sold another main home in the last 2 years where you also claimed the exclusion, then you check true. If you did sell another main home in that time, check false. Third, you did not use any part of the home for business or as a long-term rental after May 6, 1997. If you only used it as your main home and not, for example, as a regular rental or for a home office deduction, check true. If you did have business or rental use, check false. A very short, one-off event rental is different than long-term rental use. Fourth, your sale price is under the limit. If you're single and the total sale price is $250,000 or less, or married filing jointly and it's $500,000 or less, check true. If it's above those amounts, check false. Fifth, you did not get this home in a 1031 like-kind exchange within the last 5 years. If that's correct, check true. If you did, check false. A 1031 exchange lets a property owner sell one investment or business property and use the money to buy another similar property without paying capital gains tax right away. It's a big process, and you will definitely know if you are in one. Sixth, your cost basis is not tied to someone else's 1031 exchange in the last 5 years. If this does not apply to you, choose NA. If it does apply and the exchange was more than 5 years ago, that generally works. If not, mark false. If you can answer true to the first 5 statements and true or NA to the 6th, you have met the IRS certification. In that case, a 1099-S usually does not need to be issued to you. Georgia has its own rule about withholding part of the sale for state taxes in certain cases. The state form tells the closing attorney whether you're a Georgia resident, whether you qualify for an exemption, or if you don't qualify, how to figure the gain so any withholding is fair. Here's how to handle it. If you are a Georgia resident, you'll typically check the line showing you are a Georgia resident. That usually means no Georgia withholding is required. If you are not a Georgia resident, review the list of exemptions. Common exemptions include very small transactions, for example, very low sale amount or very low withholding amount, a principal residence sale where the gain isn't taxable at the federal level, certain lender or government transactions, a qualifying like-kind exchange, 1031. If one fits, check that box. If no exemption fits, you'll use the short gain worksheet on the form, so any withholding is based only on your actual profit, not the entire sale price. It's quick. Write the sale price. Write your cost basis, what you paid plus improvements. Subtract any depreciation you claimed in past years. That gives your adjusted basis, cost basis minus depreciation. List your selling expenses, such as agent commissions and closing costs you paid. Net gain equals sale price minus adjusted basis minus selling expenses. Keep your backup paperwork, like your settlement statements, receipts for improvements, and so on. If your answers on the IRS certification don't meet the rules, like you lived in the home less than 2 years or your price is over the $250K, $500K limit, then a 1099-S will be issued. That's okay. It just reports the sale to the IRS. You'll handle any tax questions on your tax return. If you're unsure on any point, ask your closing attorney or your tax professional. These forms are there to keep your file clean and to make sure the right information goes to the IRS and the state of Georgia. No more and no less. Thanks for watching.